Hey, folks, welcome back to It Came from the Discount Bin. I am your host, Andrew Walker, and of course, we have Alexa Harnack, Mickey Jackson. Is it Mickey Jackson this time or Mickey
I don't know. We're
Machias
just throwing
Jackson?
different stuff around.
Just
We'll
different.
just go with Mickey.
Just Mickey this time.
One like Cher and Prince. I'm just Mickey.
And our very first guest on the show, Mr. Robert Butler. Yay. Thanks for being on, bud. For those of you who don't know him out there, he's a local filmmaker. Him and I grew up on the same street in Pontiac when we were little kids while we were fighting in the front yard. I would be Gambit. He would be Wolverine.
Ooh,
Yes.
I like that.
Alexa would be Rogue. We would watch the X-Men on cartoon on Saturday mornings.
Born and raised in South Pontiac.
Holla.
And then just a couple years ago, Rob found me on Facebook and said, "Did you grow up on Columbia and Pontiac?" And that's when I knew, I hadn't seen this dude in 30 years. And we reconnected very quickly and bonded over our shared love of film and the Detroit Tigers and how anti-Trump we are. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Seriously. But Rob, you're no stranger to this room. You've been in here a couple times, probably 4 or 5
Oh,
times,
I'd say 8 at least.
maybe 8.
That's 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On our other movie podcast we do here called Hollywood Blockbusters. On this show, we like to talk about some more out there films, sometimes cult films. A lot of them are comedies or horrors. That's just how the genre goes. But yeah, this time we wanted to take the theme of summer, take some of our favorite films from that and just discuss them.
And it's a very fitting day today because it's what, 10 degrees outside?
It's like 8.
And feels like negative.
And it feels like negative.
Yeah, the wind
4.
chill is definitely below 0, and we've gotten quite a bit of snow just the last 2 weeks, it seems like. So yeah, we wanted to do something positive that we could look forward to a couple months from now when the sun comes out. The girls start wearing sundresses, birds having sex with the bees,
Yeah.
all
It's a
that
whole
stuff.
thing.
It's a whole thing.
Welcome to spring in Michigan.
Welcome to spring in Michigan. It'll be 75 degrees, and then we'll get 3 feet of snow the very next day, and then it'll melt the next day after that. But enough of me talking. Let's get into our first episode. This was picked by Alexa, Wayne's World, which is more, it probably could be regarded as the best SNL sketch turned movie, wouldn't you say?
I would say yes.
Okay, before we do this, let's
Yeah.
all do this together. Wayne's World,
Yeah.
Wayne's
Wayne's
World,
World,
party
party
time,
time,
party
excellent.
time, excellent.
Oh my God, I love it.
This came out in 92, 33, 34 years ago.
Mhm.
Alexa, what is your earliest memory of Wayne's World?
I don't know. I feel like it could have possibly been on at Papa and Grandma's when we.
I
used
was
to be-
just
I
gonna
feel
say the
like
same
Uncle
thing.
Tom might have watched it when we were around, and he still lived at home.
So, yeah, when Alexa and my grandparents would watch us, babysit us, our uncle at the time hadn't moved out yet from his parents' house, our grandparents, and he had a bunch of cool VHS. And I remember specifically the Wayne's World VHS of those, Wayne and Garth on the front cover, and the shot of the camera is kind of like looking down at them, and you could kind of see their whole body. I don't remember if we watched it there.
Or maybe we just saw the cover of the.
Right.
Yeah. The video.
But this movie is fairly unique in that it's sort of, in most of the scenes, it's shot like as a mockumentary.
Yeah.
Not to the extent of, say, this is Spinal Tap,
Yeah.
but in almost every scene they break the fourth wall. Usually Wayne or Garth will look dead into the camera and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
well," he'll say something observational about what just happened, like he needed to do that.
Or the
Okay.
time he dropped the pen and he's like, the camera follows him
come
down
down
to the
here.
floor.
Come down here.
He's like, does anybody else think this is
And then
weird?
Ted Bundy tries to talk at the camera, and they say, "What are you doing? Only me and Garth can talk to the
Yeah.
camera."
Yes.
So
The donut
he,
shop owner.
Yep.
the donut shop owner at the beginning of the film, played by Ed O'Neill from Married with Children and a bunch of other stuff. Does he come out and say he's a,
Yeah,
a Vietnam
Yeah,
vet?
he's
Yes.
like, you kill a man in heat of
In
passion.
heat of passion.
And whatever. And the girl's like, whoa, hang on. Whoa.
He's quite sadistic,
There-
isn't he?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this later. There's another character in one of the films that we watched who was also a Vietnam vet who comes across as kind of crazy, played by Chris Maloney in Wet Hot
Yes.
American Summer. Maybe they're the same dude.
Yeah,
Who
right?
knows?
Or they toured together.
Yes. We were both in Da Nang in 1969 for the Tet Offensive.
in the same platoon.
All right, Lexa, tell me more about why you picked this film to represent summer.
Well, I remember watching it a lot, probably as an older teenager and young adult, watching it a lot. I hadn't actually watched it in some years before watching it for this, and it's just, I don't know, probably it captures a lot of my favorite things. Music, them playing hockey in the street, just hanging out, just being kind of happy-go-lucky, laughing. So I think just the whole vibe and tone of the movie is just kind of cool, carefree, fun.
Yeah, I agree. So this had a budget of $20 million, which I didn't do the calculation of what that is today, but maybe between 60 and 80 million in today's dollars.
Yeah, I'd say 6. You could get away with that 50, 60 million.
Yeah.
And it made 183 million, which even if you just double that,
That's domestically, did that make that?
um
Or worldwide? It was a huge hit. I remember it coming out.
Oh yeah.
it doesn't say. I don't know. But yeah, and if you think about all the other SNL movies that were based on a sketch, like
No.
Night at the Roxbury,
Yeah.
she's like, no,
No.
don't.
No.
Don't even go there.
They pale in comparison.
Ladies Man,
Mm-hmm.
which I've never seen.
Oh, you're not missing much.
I haven't seen it either.
Mickey, have you seen It's Pat?
Oh yeah. It was
we got
terrible.
to talk
I-
about that
I
sometime.
love
That-
the Pat skits.
that
I mean,
is
I
on-
love
Yeah.
the skits, but the movie, I
Movie,
was
yeah.
like, good gravy.
Same
This
here.
is
Yeah.
awful.
That's definitely one that's going to make it onto this podcast.
the
Yes.
laugh.
Feel sorrier for me.
This was my heyday, like 92. I graduate, I started high school. I was maybe a freshman in high school. I saw this at the movies.
Oh.
This was by far one of our favorite movies to quote. I mean, we loved this, watched it all the time.
There are so many quotes in this
I-
movie that
So many. Brought
The-
Bohemian Rhapsody
Oh, yeah.
back
Oh,
to the
yeah.
younger generation.
yeah, because at that time that movie had come out probably 13 or 14 years early, probably was 78 or 79.
Yeah.
It's so weird to think about how
Mm.
close together that song came out to that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been 34 years since that movie came out.
Sure.
Right.
I have a question for you, Mickey, because you're older than the rest of us.
Got it.
Not to put the spotlight on.
It's all right. I'll take it.
Now, when they would say something and then go not,
Yeah.
was that
Oh,
popular
we did that.
before?
No. Well,
Or do you think this
unless
film
you watch
kinda-
Saturday Night Live, it was that's what brought it to it. This
Really?
brought that on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In my
the
opinion.
sketches from SNL.
Yes, the sketches from SNL brought it on, but then the movie just made it popular
More.
if you didn't watch it. I mean,
Sure.
SNL is one of my favorite, like the late 80s into the 90s.
Sure.
Mm.
I absolutely loved it. I mean, I'd watch it, and of course, this is before cell phones, so I'd call my best friend Shane on the house phone and be like, "Are you watching right now? I'm dying." And we would sit on the house phone and watch it together and just laugh so hard. Like, it was so good, and this was by far one of the better ones. But yeah, lots of the quoting. I mean, it just like, did you take your Ritalin? We would say that to people. I don't know how okay that is now. We'd be like, chill, take your Ritalin. You're on a beach with Heather Locklear. Like, calm down.
Alexa, you mentioned music. What are some songs from this movie that stood out, like on the soundtrack, that you think that were really memorable?
Definitely Ballroom Blitz or
Absolutely.
the original songs by Crucial Taunt. And Tia
Oh,
Career did her own vocals
Oh, okay.
for the song because Cassandra's just so cool. And I know in the second one, which we haven't watched or covered for this, but one of my very favorite bands, the Gin Blossoms, has a song and briefly appears in Wayne's World 2.
Mhm.
Yeah, what's the name of? But they were in. They had a.
At the end, there's just like a really, really brief clip of them getting out of a or of like a limo or something and just kind of walking by. It's just really
Were they
brief.
part of that wedding montage? I'm trying to remember.
Trying to think. too. Or it might
Kurt Russell
be
in The Graduate.
it might be at Wayne Stock.
Oh, Wayne Stock,
Like when
that's what it
people
is.
are,
Yes,
I think
yes.
it's during Wayne Stock. But the ones that the crucial taunt songs stick out. And Foxy when Foxy Lady.
Oh
when,
yeah,
Garth
From
is
James
Oh, yeah.
Hendricks.
about
I actually
His
would
dream
do that
woman.
at the bar, across the dance floor, towards a friend.
Rob, was this a movie that you rented from the movie store when you and Kevin Brown would rent like 5 movies at a time and watch them all throughout the night?
It was not one of those. However, my dad was a musician. He was eager to see it. We actually saw it opening weekend at the Showcase Cinema. It might even been the Summit Place Mall Theater.
The one behind, yeah, okay,
it might
at
have
the
been
mall.
those two from what I
Yeah.
recall. And I was addicted after that. So I was
Oh,
only
yeah.
10 years old watching this great comedy, and then I instantly did rent it again when it was at Blockbuster, a video giant we were renting movies from, and watched it numerous times, and just watched it again. I watched it actually for its 92 anniversary.
Okay, so a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and then I watched it again for this, and it still holds up very well. Each time I watch it, I forget about a gag. I'm like, oh my god.
That's one of the
Yeah.
best parts about rewatching old
Yes,
movies. You're
yes.
like, oh yeah.
I forgot how gorgeous Tia Carrera was.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. Well, I love that whole sequence where where Wayne first encounters her there, and she's just rocking it out.
Oh, Dreamweaver too. And he's
Yep.
focused
Yeah.
on
Yeah. Wait, the Dreams,
Dreamweaver.
yeah.
Yes,
That's another
yes.
good one.
And
From
Garth going and getting the armor and when
Shocking the
bowling
guy.
alley,
Oh
shocking
yeah,
the
he goes
ball.
and gets this whole thing. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that's a great gag. It's consistently humorous from beginning to end.
from beginning to end.
It really
Yes.
is, yeah.
They also sing my song in it. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
Yes,
You're so
Oh,
fine.
that's
in the
right.
Car, in the car.
Yeah.
And to your point of bringing up Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, that was on VH1 back in the day when they played music videos
Yeah,
over
yeah.
and over. It was great. I remember never walking away. I'd sing along with it and
Yep.
always watched it. And
Oh yeah.
So, Rob, here's a little movie trivia. Of course, there's the Easter egg. I don't know if you could really call it an Easter egg, but the cameo of T-1000
yes,
from Terminator 2.
Oh yeah.
So that movie
Love
just
it.
came out the year prior to this. It came out in 91.
It's like 1 year they got that.
Now, I don't know off the top of my head what studio T2, who put out T2. I don't know if it was Columbia.
Universal.
It was Universal.
Yes.
Did the Universal also do this film? Because I would try to think,
No, Paramount did it.
like, why did they choose?
Because
That cameo.
maybe because it was another big film
Big
and
film at the
people
time, yeah.
would, you know what I mean? Like it probably just fit. Like any kind of
Yeah,
like
like a
SNL
parody,
skit,
yeah.
you know, like it fit probably what they were thinking at that time.
And I try to think if something like that would happen today. Like, what was the biggest, most popular film of 2025?
So if you said like Minecraft, for instance.
Yeah. And then this year, a movie coming out that has somebody from like a Minecraft cameo. Like, how fast of production turnaround is that? Because, and I say that to say this because in Wayne's World 2, which came out in '93, the very next year, there's a Jurassic Park,
Jurassic Park, too.
which also came out in '93.
Yeah.
So they had to have known, okay, this is coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe they snuck onto the same set where the Tyrannosaurus is and the car. You know, I'm just trying to think how they did these so quickly.
Well, Jurassic Park, if you recall, they did really good marketing in that.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
they were advertising that thing, I believe, in late '92.
Okay,
So they were probably got away with a lot. Also, with comedies, you could shoot things a lot simpler than like a drama or
that's true.
Mhm.
thriller,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. They just probably have 25 days of shooting, and they can
Yeah,
edit it
real
in
quick,
a couple
yeah.
weeks. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I noticed, in one of our other podcasts, I had talked about that man, the guy in this movie, Old Man Withers. I think his name is Cameron Phillippe, or the old man that I said is the same age in every single
Yeah.
movie.
Is it the guy that's in Pee Wee?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
he's in.
on-
He
on
was
the
in
train.
Halloween. He's in The Wedding Singer. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah, I know
about?
exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
I had mentioned he's the same age. I swear, in every single movie he's in.
Must be immortal.
Right. And I saw him. I'm like, he is in this too.
Yep.
Like somehow he's stalking all of my movies that we picked. But I'm like, he's the same age. He's still
he at
Old Man
that-
Withers.
Yeah, he's the one that owns the amusement park. Is
Yes.
that what
And
he-
at the
Yeah.
end when
Okay,
they do
yes,
the Scooby
yes.
Doo ending and they pull it.
Doodle-doo.
yes, that's right. That's right. And I brought him up on Wikipedia. So here's some of the characters he's played: hotel clerk, bus station bum, hobo Jack from Pee Wee,
See?
The Boys Next Door, Bum, Mop Man, Street Bum Number 1,
It's like,
Doorman, Old Man Withers, like we
Yep.
talked about, and Ed Wood, Old Crusty Man, Old Man in Bar,
you see, he's like perpetually 78 in every single movie.
until he died at age 80
R.I.P.
in 2003. All right. Anything else we want to talk about in this film, Alexa?
You know what I was thinking? Like the whole, we do these podcasts now and we have TikTok and stuff. And I feel like them sitting in the basement and that filming it is like the 90s version of what we do now.
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about things that are relevant, just trying to make people laugh, wanting people to follow them, but not for monetary gain. I'm like now, but they just wanted it to be, they felt like they had things to say and people liked them.
Well, there's a gag in the film which I think it's ahead of its time, and watching it now, I was like, that is still hilarious. It's the promotions of the food. And
Oh yeah, when
Oh,
picking it
yeah,
up like
yeah.
my McDonald's, like
The product placement.
product placement. Is,
So that's how they got $20 million to make this movie.
they did.
other-
Because it was Doritos, Pepsi,
Yeah.
there was pizza, something. Oh,
Advil.
new print, little, yellow,
Yeah.
different.
Yes.
I was dying. I'm like, this is great. They didn't have to be subtle at all.
But like you mentioned, Mickey, it was a public access show, just like we're filming or recording right
Literally
now
like us
in a
right
public
now.
access.
Right.
I do my show right down the hall here, which is like an interview show. Yeah, we can't technically make money off of this, but we do it because it's fun.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And the thing I like about Wayne's World is it's not at its core it's still good natured of these two
Mhm.
dudes who like to just have fun doing what they're
Yeah.
doing, partying with their friends, and it's not. There's some cynical parts in the movie, but at its core, it's still
Maintains that.
good
Absolutely.
natured, which I like. Because today, so many movies that and TV shows too are so cynical to the point of everybody is awful,
Right.
Mhm.
and that's like a selling point,
Yeah.
especially like a lot of HBO shows. Like
Right.
everything is awful, everybody's awful.
Yeah.
Hey, look at these idiots.
Even at the end, Rob Lowe's like, I've seen the error of my ways. And I blah, blah, blah. Like even they have him turn around and be fine at the end,
All right, let's go on to another film we watched, picked by our guest Robert, called Ghost World with Thora Birch.
speaking of cynicism.
Yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson and Mr. Bug Eyes himself, Steve Buscemi.
Love him. I
He's
don't know
great.
that I've ever seen anything I don't like Steve
Oh,
Buscemi in.
he's so correct there.
Anything he's
So-
in, he makes it
It's gold.
that much better, no
Even
matter.
if it's like a bad Adam Sandler movie,
Yeah.
I'm still laughing at him.
And it-
100%.
Adam Sandler movies too,
Oh
where
yeah,
it's
wedding
like,
singer.
Yes.
Self-taught,
Yes.
no doubt.
So this film came out 2001. That's you graduated 2001, right?
That's-
2 years before me. So
I'm the old lady in the room. Yikes.
So this is two girls that are very, very close friends, and they're sort of outcast in their high school. The movie starts off with them graduating, and I didn't know this at the time, but it's based on a graphic novel.
Yeah, I didn't know
Oh,
that
I didn't
either.
know that.
Yeah.
Rob, tell us why you picked this movie when we told you the topic is summer films.
It's funny you say that because you kind of brought half of it up already. That movie will always stay close to me because I graduated in 2001,
Yep.
and that movie came out that summer, and I just graduated high school. And here these characters are graduating high school, and then and it deals with some real topics that a lot of teenage
Mhm.
movies don't do, and that's just about being wise above your years. I always felt like I was that, and my other
Mhm.
friends, like we wouldn't really get along with the people. We would hang out at school. We were always finding ourselves hanging out with other people. And funny story, I used to live at Bridgewater Apartments in Clarkston,
Mhm.
and there was an elderly guy there in his 50s, maybe 60s, and he had a lot of movie collectibles like Joe did. He loved international cinema, and he always told me, like, the Coen brothers and Tarantino, they're not good. You got to watch Ingmar Bergman and Stanley Kubrick. And he introduced me to all that stuff, and I call those people nostalgists.
Yeah.
They can't evolve to the modern world. And
Mhm.
he loved Jim Jarmusch, too. Like,
Okay.
I could not get Dead Man at the time.
Oh.
He was always renting it. There was only one copy. I finally asked him as a kid, "Can I get this movie from you? Can you take it back? I'll take it back
funny.
for you." And he trusted me. I actually took it back and watched it. But that I had a cool friendship, kind of like what Thora Birch did with that. So I really related to that in many ways. You know,
Mhm.
watching that film.
Cool.
But just growing up in the summer in 2001, that was a highlight of my life. I just loved being out of school and just adulting at the time. Finally getting like your first full-time job that summer, and just preparing for the adult world, which really, honestly, I'm living in my 40s now, and it's really not much different than now.
story.
You got responsibilities right when you get out of high school that you do now.
Yep. Trying to figure it out, like, okay,
Yeah.
where am I going to live? Where am I going to go to school?
Exactly.
You're
You
still trying
yeah.
to have fun and be who you want to be, but then you realize you have to evolve into something else.
yeah.
You do, yes.
Mhm.
And you see the problems with the world, and that never changes. I think that movie captures that,
Yeah.
especially with like how everything's just an advertisement. Here today, 2025, everything's still an advertisement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I think the movie makes a great point when it's satire with that.
And Rob,
Mm-hmm.
you went to high school with local boy gone good, Tim Robinson.
Yes.
Do you know who he is, Mickey? From did you ever see Detroiters, the show Detroiters, or I Think You Should Leave, the sketch show on Netflix?
No, but now I'm going to have to look it up.
Oh, I think the memes are so ubiquitous within pop culture now. You would know who he is from his face. But he was on SNL in 2014. He was on the cast, and he wrote.
Now that you say that, you'll show me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
And that movie Friendship that came out last year with Paul Rudd.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, I know who that
Yeah.
is.
So he graduated a year before you.
2 years. He was
2 years.
99.
Oh,
Okay.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from
Mhm.
Clarkson and Waterford, and his nephew has been on my interview show twice before. His name's Tyler, telling some great stories about his uncle. Anyway, Rob, so going back to the old guy in your neighbor, he was kind of dismissive of contemporary directors.
Yes.
You said Tarantino and the Coen Brothers, but would talk about Bergman and Kubrick.
And
Do you-
Hitchcock, he loved it.
Oh, yeah, of course, Hitchcock. Now you're in your 40s. Do you find yourself doing that with new directors?
Not at all.
I was gonna.
I'm never going to be like that either. I got kicked out of a Facebook page recently because I stood up against that.
Yeah.
I've noticed myself. I'm getting that way with music.
So music's a different story.
It is a
unfortunately.
it is a completely different story. Yeah. And a lot of it is just stuff I don't understand why people in their 20s like certain things. I still don't get the fascination with mindlessly scrolling through TikTok.
Sure,
I don't know. It's just
I think we were a little deeper on some levels in things, not to discount the younger generation, but they
Yeah.
have they're flooded with so much information, so many choices, so many things, and we just kind of found things that we vibed with.
yeah.
And we went with it. And it's like, oh, I like this. Well, what other records could I find like this? And that's where you find the older, person in your life who's like, oh, if you like this, you should look up this and this.
Exactly, yes.
And it was just so much simpler. I think they have almost too much.
I agree, and
And
I
they want to do what's cool also.
they want-
They're
yeah,
a little bit more trend following than say we were in the late 90s, early 2000s.
right. And I know our parents would say the same thing for us, but it's I would say specifically pop culture things are more disposable.
Yeah.
Like
They
somebody
come and go now.
Right. Somebody
Yeah.
will watch a 20-second thing on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, laugh, text it to 3 of their friends, and this is funny. This reminds me of so-and-so. 15 seconds later, they've completely forgotten about it, and it's on to the next thing.
Correct.
Mhm.
The attention span.
The attention span, and I feel like things don't make as much of an
they
and
don't
the-
hold weight.
Impact.
They don't hold
Mhm.
weight.
they don't make as much of an impact because, like you said, and it's not younger kids' fault, but they're bombarded with
Too much.
so many things in such quick successive order.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's good for our brains. I don't think it's good for keeping us kind of tethered to reality,
I
you know?
just saw
Mhm.
a thing on the news that said that short movies, like watching short little skits, is actually bad for
Yes.
like your cognitive memory
yeah.
and
Yes.
different things like that. They're saying it's really bad for you to do it continually.
I-
Somehow damaging to the brain.
Some people have told me, Andrew, you need to you need to edit down your interview show into little bite-sized morsels and put them on TikTok. I'm like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
I'm making it the way I want to do it. If somebody wants to sit and watch it for 45
Yeah.
minutes so they understand the context of the joke
Right.
rather than just a 20-second
Snippet, right.
set up and punchline, I don't know. I feel like I'd be cheapening my own
Yeah, you're
work, art, whatever, just so someone will give me
We
a
don't want
like.
you to ever cheapen
Mm.
yourself.
Not any more than I already have. All right, let's get back to
I-
this movie though.
I had not
Oh,
seen this movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd never heard of it.
yeah, I had never heard of it. I'd never seen it, which was weird because Thora Birch and Scarlett Johansson, I love them both, and of course
Yeah.
Jamie. But some of the comedy in this, like I loved, like
Oh,
the
it's- yeah.
shirtless guy. At
Oh
the,
my God.
The nunchuck.
The, sh-
Yes, I
the
went.
nunchuck shirtless guy. When he was like, I'm hungry enough to chew the crotch out of a
rag
rag doll.
yeah.
I had to pause it. I was laughing so hard. 'cause I
Oh my
was
God!
sure I was gonna miss the next couple minutes. I was like, did he just say that? I'm dying.
Yeah. So I tell you, Mickey, I saw that in the theater when I saw Doug come up and say that line.
Yeah,
That's the hardest I think I ever laughed in my life.
it was.
It's up there.
It was a pause and
So
laugh
I'm glad
moment.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and then him outside with the nunchucks and the. I was. He's great.
Yes, it's up there too with some gags like the naked guy in Sideways, as well as Napoleon dancing is some of the hardest I've ever laughed.
Yeah.
So
Oh
there's
yeah.
there's another, and I'll show it to you later because I don't. Again, some of the things in some of these movies, I don't know. We should say them out loud, but I'll show. It was another moment where I laughed out loud, and it's just the interchange with him and the older owner of the store.
oh yeah, that's a great exchange.
Yeah.
The Greek joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Greek.
Oh,
That's exactly
yes.
what I'm talking
Yeah,
Yes,
about.
yeah, yeah.
that laugh. The whole
Just-
sequence is
This
hilarious.
right here, Alexa. Just read that.
so
I was like, well, that's great.
so with towards the end of the movie, it gets a little awkward with Thora Birch and Steve Buscemi when they're in bed together. Was that just me?
No,
Or is
it's-
it-
I mean, the whole relation.
the
Yeah.
whole
Like,
relationship was a little bit cringy at
lot of
times.
cringe.
Yeah.
and I know a lot of this often goes back to one of our favorite movies, Lost in Translation, where
And American Beauty.
and American Beauty, where Scarlett Johansson in Lost in Translation. You've seen it, right, Mickey? Lost in Translation.
Yes. Yes.
So she was 17 when they filmed that.
Playing a 24-year-old.
Yeah.
Bill Murray was literally 3 times her age. He was 50 something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really truly get romantic.
Right.
You haven't seen it, have you, Alexa?
I-
Lost in
mm-mm.
Translation.
Oh, please do.
Like it is so
yeah,
good.
you got to see it.
But it's two very, very different people, very different ages, different walks of life, crossing paths, and for whatever reason or another, they need each other for one thing, you know.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And I think it's typical of a girl that's doesn't know what she's looking for something and she can't find that
Yes.
something. So now her idea was to find him a
Right.
girlfriend. Well, now he
Yeah.
finds a girlfriend, and now we don't like that he has a girlfriend because
Yep.
we're feeling a little jealous.
Yep.
So now we're
Mhm.
gonna overstep our boundary and cross a line because afterwards she's like, I like him, and now he's into me, and
Right.
oops,
Right, right.
which sometimes girls do.
right, and plus being 18 or whatever, just getting out of high school, you can see that happening.
Exactly.
But as being the older adult, he should have been like, no.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So at the
But yeah, talk about that aspect of it, Rob, because like we said, we see this in films sometimes.
right, Licorice Pizza is a great example
Licorice
too, which
Pizza.
that didn't bother me. But
Yep.
for me, at the time I watched it, nobody really thought of it.
Right.
You really didn't. You might have thought it was like, now 24 years later, we do,
Right.
and we're more mindful of it now. We evolved.
Yeah.
I will say this though, like it still it doesn't feel creepy to me, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
They have a lot of common interests. I also think Thora Birch's character is wise beyond her years,
Sure.
and I do think there's a genuine
Yep.
connection with them too, because they
Yeah.
they have the same lens of the world.
Mhm.
I
They-
didn't
yeah.
feel it was creepy until after when it was awkward.
It got awkward after that.
After
yes.
when
Oh,
she
yeah.
kind of like dumped it, like I don't really want this. Like, do you want to move in? I was like, oh, now it's creepy.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's so lonely and desperate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, now I feel bad. Now
Yeah.
it's like I thought it was great. Up to, like if they would have gotten together, like you said, because they had common interest, I'm like, that wouldn't have been so awful,
Right,
right? You know.
but she regretted it afterwards.
But she regretted it
Yeah.
afterwards, and that's when it got. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And plus, too, it makes it even creepier watching as though they do drink some wine before that. She opens it up, she
Mm.
drinks it.
Yeah.
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 Alcohol played
Yeah.
into that
Yeah.
Did you-
into that alienation. Yeah,
Do you guys like David Cross?
he's
the
hilarious
actor?
in that.
I love David Cross.
I
Yes.
love him. When they're at this old man party.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
And he walks over, and I'm like, oh, this is whatever happens is going to be great.
Okay.
He is wonderful. I love him. So
Hey,
that
you're
was.
wearing green. Are you Irish?
Yeah, I am. I was in love with that. I mean, there were so many little parts I like the coon chicken. I mean, it just there were so many.
Oh,
That in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so many things in this that I just was like, I love that we're going there.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and back then we could go there maybe a little bit more, you know, and it just be straight out comedy or you
Mhm.
know.
Well, I think I want to talk about the Coons Cook's Chicken dynamic. That
Yeah.
is brilliant satire, and I think that's timeless today.
Uh-huh.
Actually, Ghost World's timeless.
Yeah.
Because you could watch that now, as we did,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
nothing feels dated in it.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
The aesthetics of the
Yeah.
film still hold up for one. The
Yeah.
performances are great. The people that are outside are still going to wear like that. You go to a record collection,
Mm.
people are going to be dressed like that. but
Exactly.
I want to talk about that commentary because people still act like that today. If you go to an art
Mhm.
museum, people are going to get offended at certain things. They're going to make a big
Mhm.
deal out of it. At the time then, I was like, oh, this is blown out of proportion. Now it's
Mhm.
normalized.
It's exactly.
And I think they had a lot of
Mhm.
great commentary about that.
Mhm.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, when they talk about, was it in the art class when they were talking about coon chicken or whatever?
Yeah, everybody was so dismissive
Mhm.
of it.
What-
But
what-
Roberta saw the point.
One girl was immediately like, "I'm offended," like,
Mhm.
Just like that.
Just like
Immediately.
that.
Instantly, yeah.
Yep.
and
It's
then
like, yeah, it is, but
And-
let's
and-
find out why.
you find out why, and then you can peel away the layers of that.
Yeah, and seriously, racism still is very much more hidden then.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right. And people don't like to see it. Sometimes you bring it out to see it to remember why it's bad and why we changed and why we do things.
Sure.
But some people just see it and they're immediately offended and they don't want to look at it. Like
Exactly.
this is so
Mhm.
bad I can't. I feel like or they feel like they shouldn't delve deeper into it because that's what everybody wants them to do.
Mhm.
Like it's the right thing to do. When sometimes peeling back the layers of an onion gets you to the center of what's really happening.
Exactly.
Rob, do you know what other movies Terry Zwigoff has directed?
Oh yeah, I'm actually pretty well versed in his filmography. I love Crumb, as you know. brought
I
up
still need to
Crumb
watch that.
and Bad Santa. He went on to direct Bad Santa after that. Art School Confidential, and I think that's pretty much. He has not been able to get funding really since then. And I know he did a show on Amazon, I believe, but it didn't last.
Yeah, it was
too
called
long.
Budding Prospects back in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the more you learn about the history of cinema and modern cinema, you see these directors who make these excellent movies, and then they, for whatever reason, they don't get any traction after that. They can't get funding, like you said. A studio won't pick it up. They having trouble getting distribution.
Yeah.
And to me, it just boggles my mind. But you think a lot of that has to do with stuff behind the scenes, like maybe this person is hard to work with, or
Oh yeah. I mean, same thing with Todd Solondz. So Todd Solondz, the director of Happiness and Welcome to the Dollhouse. Solondz and Zwigoff really brought the movement to independent cinema. They really showed a lot of teenage angst, more dived deeper than a lot of other filmmakers did with teenage movies. And also, what I love about their work is they created a certain aesthetic. They would carry on other movies like American Splendor with Paul Giamatti,
Mhm.
Mhm.
which is about the underground comic book artist. But no, it's a great movement between those two.
all right, let's test your.
Now I feel like Seymour.
You are Seymour.
Where's your card?
What was the one category that it was nominated for at the Academy Awards?
Oh, that's easy. Best adapted screenplay.
Yes.
And it shouldn't. So
Who did win?
for adapted screenplay that
Yeah.
year, I think Gosford Park. No, Gosford wrote an original. So Lord of the Rings won, didn't it? You know, one.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't have that. All I have was.
So adapted screenplay, I think, went to Beautiful Mind or Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
So I found a little Easter egg in this for myself.
Nice.
Have any of you watched Welcome to Derry?
I've watched the first. Last night I watched episode 4.
Okay,
I've
Yeah.
seen
so
bits and pieces.
you don't
of
know
it.
this. I'm a huge Stephen King fan, so
Oh, nice.
I watch nearly everything. And there's a song she's playing. One of the records she's playing is the theme song to Welcome to Derry, "A Smile and a Ribbon."
Yes.
Oh, is that
I recognize that
Is that
And
the-
I'm
in
and-
this. Yeah.
yes, and I'm
yeah,
sitting
know
there
what
and I'm
you're
like,
talking about, yeah.
why do I know this song? Why? And I had to rewind it and play it. I'm like, that's from Welcome to Derry, which I just watched.
That's a
Yep.
beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, this is like,
Yeah.
it's hitting me on like two different levels. Like, again, I'm watching that scene. I'm like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, seeing Pennywise like in the second half of my brain back here. I'm like, but what are the chances that I just finished watching that maybe 2 months ago, and now this is a movie I've never seen that got picked for the show,
Nice.
and it's the theme song from it.
I think I mentioned to you last time, Mickey, to watch The Life of Chuck
Yes.
with Tom Hiddleston. Because
Yes.
that Rob and I saw that in the theater, and it's based on a
The
short story.
I've read the short
2021.
story. I read the
Okay.
short story, so now I do have to see it
Nice.
because I did
It-
read the short story.
I
And the
wi-
short story was good.
I wished it would have gotten more popularity.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else that saw it besides me and Rob.
Yeah.
It got good reviews and everything. I don't know if it made its budget back. It might have made its budget back, but
Was he a part of it?
who?
Stephen King. Was
Oh,
he a
yeah.
part of the making of that
I
movie?
don't know.
Oh no,
I-
he just it's based on, he says it's one of his favorite adaptations.
Because okay, that you did tell me. That's why I
so
wanted
the
to watch
dude,
it.
the dude who directed it, we talked about, had done Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
Mike Flanagan.
That's right.
So, and it's not a horror movie, but you'll see some similarities on how Mike
In the way
Flanagan's
he
other
does
stuff
it.
is. It is excellent,
Yeah.
excellent movie. I highly recommend anybody watch it.
Okay.
Yep.
I forgot about that. Put that
Oh,
in my
Real
notes.
quick on Ghost.
Yeah,
Real quick.
yeah.
I want to talk about Enid's character. I want to talk about the Oscars. I think Thora Birch should have been nominated. I think Steve Buscemi should have been
Yeah.
nominated and
Oh,
won
yeah.
that year. But I love her performance. Just how she's
Mm.
always evolving, trying to find herself, wearing that punk
Mm.
rock look. Always
Oh.
unhappy. Her friendship with Scarlett.
It's
Johansson's
like
great.
annoying but endearing
Or,
at
like,
the same
I love
time.
some
Like,
of her-
you know,
Yeah.
her kind of her brattiness is like
Yes.
annoying but endearing all the same.
Or like the scene where they go to the adult store.
Oh, it's so
And
hilarious.
she's like, I have to buy this. You have to loan me the money. And she
Those-
shows up with her friend, and she's got like a Batgirl mask on. She's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
where did
yeah,
you
yeah.
get that? She's like, you'll never believe
those
me.
reaction shots of those guys in there. That one guy looked just like that. He cast him like you're that creepy guy at the
Exactly.
adult store.
Yep. I mean, some of those little shots, like you said, she really played it very well.
She did.
You know, or you could feel when she really felt something like, I should help this guy. Like, I feel so bad for him now after they, you know.
Right. And then the late
Totally.
Brad Renfro in it, which is so sad.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was.
That's right.
Good.
What did he die from?
Overdose.
Overdose?
Mm.
Or
Yeah.
overdose.
That's like a few years later, maybe like
Yeah,
6 or
08.
7.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
only a few years after that.
Alexa, what did you think of this?
Yeah, overall, I would say just kind of like cringy but endearing also in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
way. Just like they're
Lots of
so
feelings.
edgy
Yes.
that it's kind of annoying but also endearing. And I appreciate the themes of like, you know, the authenticity or how she seems to feel conflicted between like not wanting things to change but also like wanting things to change.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Wanting to be an adult, but not wanting to be an adult.
I remember
Yeah, right.
looking back now. I remember feeling that a lot. Graduated in high school in 2003, and then going off to college, big time. A couple minutes ago, you mentioned American Beauty, and then I forgot she was the main girl in American
she's-
Beauty.
Yes.
She's in that.
Yep.
Have you seen it, Alexa?
No, but I know of
Oh.
it. I know
I've
of
seen
it.
parts of it. I have not seen it all the way through.
That was the first rated R movie I ever snuck into at Great Lakes Crossing.
and
And even
eyes wide shut.
oh yeah, that was just
Oh,
the year
God,
before in
yeah.
'98, right?
Same year.
Oh, 99.
Just like a few,
Okay.
few more months before. Yeah.
So that's one of those movies. Even though I was only 15 or whatever, 14 or 15 when I snuck into American Beauty, and you know, at this time I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, but I see this movie, and even at that time I'm like, there's something about this movie. It is so well made, and it stuck with me. Probably because of that crazy ending. But I'm like, I've never seen a movie like this before, and it really like touches you, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anything else on this film before we go?
I thought it was good. I was glad it was chosen because I would have never been able to find it
Mm.
otherwise.
Yes, I want to
Mm.
say this about it. It was a discount bin movie. Now it got updated. It's got a Criterion now.
Yeah.
Before you'd always see that movie. You always would see it at Big Lots all the time. All these
Mhm.
movies actually I saw at Big Lots, but Ghost World would be there. There'd always be like one or two copies laying around. I'm like, oh, when somebody buys it, it's so good.
Do you have the Criterion copy?
Oh, I do.
Uh.
Yeah. I watch. That's a comfort movie for me. Ghost World. I could quote it. Instead. You could saw Mickey.
Yep.
And
Yep. That's why he knew exactly what I was talking about.
For me, it's one of those movies I could watch any time and never get tired of it.
All right, let's go on to Mickey's film, One Crazy Summer, starring the Mr. I Was Everywhere, on every screen in the 1980s, Mr. John Cusack.
Oh yes.
I know he hasn't really done much lately, and I don't know if that's because he just doesn't want to deal with. He seems like the kind of dude that doesn't want to deal with Hollywood too much anymore,
Yeah.
or if people don't want to hire him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this dude was everywhere in the 80s
Oh, yeah.
and 90s. Have you seen Grosse Point Blank?
Yes. Grosse
Excellent.
Point Blank was
Excellent
great.
film. High
16
Fidelity,
Candles.
16 Can.
Mhm. Say
There's
anything.
Grifters.
Say Anything.
Say anything. Oh yeah.
What was that, right?
Classic.
Grifters.
The Drifters.
The Grifters.
The Grifters.
Yes.
What's the one
Not
with the
seen it.
skiing? Better Off
Oh,
Dead?
Better Off Dead.
Mhm.
Better Off
That
Dead.
is. If we were doing winter movies,
That
Could've picked that
one.
We'll do that.
$2.
We'll do that in July.
$2.
We'll do that in July. So this came out
We'll do
in
Christmas in July.
This came out in '86, starring, of course, Cusack, the always beautiful Demi Moore, Bobcat Goldthwait, and two other guys I don't know, Curtis Armstrong and Joel Murray. Now, Mickey, why did you pick this film?
So, we were going with a summer theme, and I was trying to think of something that wasn't super mainstream. And this is definitely not mainstream on any level. I probably know 4 people off the top of my head who've actually seen it.
We're all in here now.
Yeah, we're all here now. Exactly.
I surprisingly had seen this movie a year and a half ago because, as I always tell you, my husband Ray, who's
Yes.
the same age as you, likes a lot of the same movies.
We
that
are
you
like kindred movie
Sure.
spirits in
We're
a lot of ways.
really working to get him to be a guest.
Yeah,
on
we
here.
gotta
Yeah,
get
yeah.
him on here.
But he knew, or of course knew of it, and we had me watch it a year and a half ago, maybe. So I had seen it, but
Yeah.
that was the only time I'd ever seen it. I had never heard of it. before
I
we
thought
watched
it was because I was looking for something that was summery but also like upbeat.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any real like downturn moments. There's no gratuitous sex. There's no like it's just friends and they go through these quirky things that happen and it's just funny, you know?
And there's
like,
still that like kind of fantastical element to it with the comic coming to life and all that.
Yeah, the
yes,
animation.
It's like all the
Animation.
I
oddball
always
stuff
liked that.
too.
Yep.
All
Or the
oddball
little girls
stuff.
slapping the girls on their back and
Yeah.
their faces stay that way. And, you know, there was just so many comical scenes in it and things. And it's very nostalgic 80s for me.
Mhm.
You know, the typical, like the way they're dressing, the things they're doing, you know, all that stuff. It's one of my favorite kind of summer quirky movies.
Now, is this something you would have seen on like Channel 20 or Channel 50?
Yes.
Or do you think you and your sister rented it? Or what do you think?
I feel like it was on TV the first couple of times I saw it. We probably did rent it after that, but it was always on TV. So
Okay.
this was actually probably the first time I had seen the whole movie from very beginning to very end. Because you know how regular TV was back in the day. You turn
Yeah.
on, you're like,
Right.
I only got half of it.
Yeah.
You know, you either get the beginning or the middle or the end.
Right,
You-
right.
Or there's a commercial break and then you go off and do something else.
Right, or you
yeah.
have to leave the house, and it's not like you can pause it or tape it. You know, your parents are like, "We have to leave. You can't watch the rest of your movie."
For shame.
Yeah, but it was. I also thought it was funny that Demi Moore's character's name was Cassandra,
Yeah.
and then Cassandra
Yeah.
was
The Wayne's
in
World.
Oh, yeah.
World.
Yeah.
So
The names in this movie.
That
crack
had
me
been a
up.
homage to both musicians. That'd have been
yeah.
Yes.
Ack Raymond,
Oh my God,
Hoops.
Ag Stork,
The Stork Brothers.
that's
Stork
Bobcat,
Brothers. Egg.
George Calamari,
Mhm.
Old Man Beckerstead, Cookie Campbell. So I'm sure you guys noticed Jeremy Piven.
Oh yes,
I
Um,
Kind of the
forgot he
same.
was in that.
he
so-
plays
yeah.
a great douchebag so well.
yeah.
Like,
he-
so
they,
well.
they're like,
Bully's friend in that, right?
Yes. Yep.
Jeremy, just be yourself. Don't act. We're gonna put
Yeah.
a camera on you. Just act.
just be you.
Yeah. And then, do you know who was in this? Who was also in
Taylor Negron.
Nothing But Trouble? Taylor Negron,
Yes.
the gas station dude.
Yep.
This was one of those movies that, like, I feel like if I would have saw when I was younger, it would have stayed with me too.
Yep.
I got the same feeling of the '80s nostalgia. Just
and nothing
just a
messed
fun.
up their friendships either. Like
Yeah.
there was no angst between them. Nobody fought with anybody really. It was just they were all doing everything together and everything for each other. You know, like
Mhm.
we're gonna save this person or we're gonna do this. You know, and it's just I loved that part of it.
Mhm.
Like sealing the Ferrari engine for the boat and You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I love that
Ack
shark.
saving that guy's.
Yeah, there's like
oh,
the
shark, killer
dolphin
shark with
thing.
rabies.
The rabid
the
shark.
the bad guy, not the old man, but the God, now I can't think of his name. The dad. He's also the mean dad from the Twisted Sister video. You know, what do you want to do with the rest of your life?
Mm.
Have you seen that video? Any of you?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's like a classic video, which made me think of that because we watched Pee Wee and Twisted,
Twisted Sister is in that,
was in
yep.
that, and I'm like, this is
You're gonna
bad
burn in
coming.
hell.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, you have to look for the.
It's the beginning of one of the music
It's
videos,
the beginning
right?
of the video.
Yeah.
So you guys now have to go home and watch
I'll
that,
watch
and
it.
you'll see
I'll
the
watch it.
dad. Like he plays a riff on the guitar and blows the dad right out the window.
Oh, I saw that gag. I know what
Okay.
you're talking about.
So it's every time I see that guy, it makes me think of him. It's his voice too, because he acts just like the same character in it.
Mickey, did you ever watch? And I'm sure we might have talked about this before when you were probably cleaning my teeth
Most likely.
at minute 50 when you were cleaning my teeth. Freaks and Geeks, the TV show.
I've seen some episodes.
So
the
the
dad is
the,
in it,
the,
yeah.
the dad of the main kid Sam
Okay.
and what's
Lindsay,
what's her name in real life?
Linda,
Linda
Cardellini.
Cardellini.
Okay.
Their dad, this dude, he was in it, and I'm like, oh, I know that dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He plays the crazy uncle.
Yeah.
And Joel Murray is Bill Murray's brother. I didn't know that.
What? I didn't know that.
I found this out on Wikipedia.
So I know their other brother
yeah.
is in Wayne's World,
Yes.
and he's the boss in Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So I didn't know there was a third Murray brother from Chicago trying to tear it up.
You just won't give those bonuses out.
Yeah. Jelly of the Month Club. Now, Mickey, you have two kids that are in their 20s, right?
Yes.
How, do you try to show them some of these movies? And if so, what's usually their reaction?
So,
to
like
these types.
I was mentioning earlier that my kids used to call VHS movies fat movies. So, can we watch fat movies? So, they've seen quite a few things that I have on VHS, and they like some of the older stuff. Like they love a lot of Adam Sandler's older stuff, like the weird things, like Little Nicky. You know, so or yeah, I know, Great Outdoors.
I remember seeing that at the
Buscemi's
theater.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of them
yeah.
they've seen, and they appreciate it, and they now, as 20-year-olds, are like showing their friends, or they're, oh, I know this, or
So
know.
you're the cool mom.
yeah.
That's showing them the good
right,
stuff.
like, hey, you gotta see, and you know, again, like you said, you know, you're 10 and you're watching something that's got some, you know, weird language and whatever, but I'm like, you know, as long as they know right from wrong,
Yeah.
you know, and
right.
they're not out swearing and they're not out
And they're at
doing
that
bad
they're at that
things, you know.
age where they It's not like
Exactly.
they're 6
They're
and you're
not
showing
5.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You know, but they love it too. I don't actually know if they've seen this one.
Okay.
I don't know that they have, but they do usually love most of my cool 80s, early 90s flicks.
Now- Since you're the only one in this room that has kids, what are some films that you think would be their generation's cult films? You know, like stuff coming out right now, or maybe in the last even half a decade, which maybe they're not super popular, but you think are that hit the right levels that could be a cult film in the next like 15 years.
That's a good question.
Because you have to think of it through their eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because my daughter, not unlike myself, likes a lot of horror
Yeah.
and things like that. So she's watched some things that I've never even seen or heard of. My son likes more of the comedy aspect of things. I don't really know, honestly, because I don't know what they're watching now. Like, I know what they watched when they lived at home,
Yeah. yeah.
but then they grow up and go on and they watch other things. But they're of that different generation where they're watching a lot of Netflix stuff.
Sure.
The like
Mhm.
hit and miss stuff. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
It's just
Yeah.
like it's here, it's gone. It's here, it's gone. You know, where we watch like we're still talking about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like we
yeah.
were the age they were,
Right.
and they're like, oh, you know, we're still talking about it, and it's still relevant. Where they watch stuff and they're like, you know, I'll ask patients that are that age, you know, what are you watching right now? What shows are you watching? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I watch a lot of shows, and they literally can't think of the shows they're watching because
Right.
they're just
So
so
disposable.
they're disposable. Exactly. So I don't really know what they would have that would be.
I
Weapons, maybe, Andrew? It was big now, but
What a
that would be
great movie that probably would be.
Alexa, you got to watch it. No, the ending would be too rough for you. But and I think like we were talking about earlier, and this aspect of it just popped to my mind when you were saying that, Mickey, is that since streaming allows everything to be available in the palm of our hand, I feel like a lot of younger people don't search things out.
Mm.
Right.
They don't think, oh well, I saw a billboard that had a spaceship on it. I wonder what would be a cool movie from the 1960s or 70s with a spaceship. It's just whenever they get home, whatever's on their
Right.
iPad or TV,
Yeah.
and then they'll put that on. And I hope I'm wrong about this, but because I want it's so important, especially at a younger age, to have that curiosity, to want to search things out
Yeah.
that you like,
And,
and
yeah,
yeah.
and my son did have, because his girlfriend, now his wife, at the time, his girlfriend had not seen a lot of the movies that he had seen from like my genre, my age, things that I had exposed him to. And he actually had a physical on paper list,
Ooh,
and they would watch the movies and they would check them off the list.
cool.
and,
What were some of those films?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to get back to that. But a lot of them were like The Great Outdoors or Mr. Mom or you know,
80s
Confused on
comedies.
Yeah, what's that?
Dazed and Confused on that.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Yes, that's still on one of
Yeah.
my top tens.
Yeah.
Or some of the horror movies that we had watched, or things
Candyman.
like what's that?
Candyman.
Oh yeah, not 80s and 90s horror is still
It's the best.
it's still at the top of my list. When they came out with those slasher films and all that, it was just so different and so crazy. You have to come on for one of our horrors now.
Oh,
That's-
absolutely.
Yeah.
We have so much fun with those.
All right. So,
But yeah, I liked this movie just because there's they're all working towards something, and we win at the
Mm.
end, and she saves the old people's home,
Yep.
because the big bad guy wants to tear it down and put up condos.
kind of like an A-Team episode.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yes.
Every
Way to
episode,
put it.
every episode has something to do with an evil developer trying to take someone's land to build something
Right.
That's very
luxurious.
true.
It's got explosions in it too.
Yeah, and so like the part where Bobcat Goldthwait's stuck in the Godzilla
Oh my! I was
costume,
gonna bring that up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he steps all over the little town, and he's the old grandpa threw a cigar in there, so he's smoking, and there's an Asian man standing there, and he's like,
Yeah.
I rewound that 3 times. By the way.
yeah,
That was so
see,
funny.
it's so funny. Just all those little moments where they do stuff, or where they put the lobsters in the pool,
Oh god.
and they jump out and they're running and they have lobster stuck to them, and
If you hear the lobster too, and it's getting cooked.
oh yeah, he's got the headphones on.
Oh,
and-
yeah,
you
yeah.
got the headphones on.
Yeah. There's so many good parts of it. But yep, they win at the end, and and he was also just trying, not unlike Ghost World, he's trying to find out who he is. The point of it was he was going to try and write this story, the
Mhm.
character, because he wants to go to art school.
Yeah.
And he has to have this little what is love, caricature or cartoon thing that he has to do, and he can't get in the right headspace to do it. So he goes there to do it, and he's trying to find out who he is and what his next steps in life are going to be. So that was the ultimate goal of it, and then all of the funny things that happen along the way. But it's not like he stays in Nantucket and stays with the girl. He's now just going to move on and
Right.
try and figure out his life, and he was able to finish his project for college application.
Yes, yes, great movie. I had watched it also in the past, but fairly recently, before we were watching it for this. I'm trying to remember when it was. It might have been like spring of last year when I was. Rob knows this because I was telling what type of movies I'm looking for when I was going through like an 80s summer type genre, and I remember loving it then. And I probably heard about it from you
Yeah.
on minute 63 when you were cleaning
When
the
I was
smaller.
on the distal of 31.
Yeah. Because I hadn't heard of it until you had mentioned it. So yeah.
So I've partially watched it before,
Okay.
and I remember seeing it at the discount bin at for Big Lots.
Yep.
Same thing with you. I always got pulled away with it. Remember, it would be on Cinemax a lot and Comedy Central.
Yep.
Mm.
Comedy
Oh, okay.
Central
Always
quite a
on
bit.
those two,
Yep.
and I would just see bits of it. Then I actually tried renting it at one time. They didn't have it at my family video,
Oh.
Mm.
which broke my heart because I was like, well, and then I never got to watch it in its
In
entirety
full.
from beginning
Mm.
to end. until
now.
a few
See,
weeks. But I remember parts of it, like the Bobcat,
Yeah.
the Godzilla one. That's a memorable
It
game. I've never
sticks with
seen
you.
that. Yeah, and the movie's kind of like a fever dream in a way. Because
Yes.
it just segments. It's very
Yes.
episodic. It's almost like
Mm.
Yeah.
just a big net of gags. It's almost like a what do you call that magazine? Like a Mad Magazine.
Oh yeah, Mad
Yeah.
Magazine.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it reminds me
Love
of
that.
that. You could essentially called Mad Magazine One Crazy Summer. You would have got away with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. One of my other favorite parts where George is they bury him in the sand. And
yeah.
and then they set a chair over him so he doesn't get sunburned.
And
And,
then
then
the
big
the
guy
bigger
comes
guy,
and
yeah.
sits down and he's eating all these snacks and they're doing something. Oh, they're helping the girls get their boat in the water. And he pulls out a big can of like Costco sized chili. And he's
He
like,
wa-
no,
He
and they're
wants- yeah.
and they're finally like, oh well, we got to remember George. And they're like, George, and they come back and there's an ambulance there and the EMTs are fighting over who's going to give him mouth to mouth because he's just been chili farted into a coma. It's like classic 80s
How
humor.
about the makeshift basketball game?
Oh
yeah.
yes,
Using a
and
human
they
as
put
a hoop.
Akak up there, and even tries to help him and moves.
Oh, so amusing.
Oh yeah,
Great film. Let's go on to our last film, which I picked, called Wet Hot American Summer. Now, Mickey, did you have HBO like in the
Growing up?
say like mid-90s?
yes,
Did you ever watch the sketch show The State?
yes.
So a lot of these people in this film were from
Yes.
that. Michael Ian Black, Ken Marino, and then the guy who directed it, David Wayne, who is very underrated as a comedian, in my opinion. He's directed a couple films, Wanderlust.
The 10 as well. I like the 10 a lot.
I've never seen The 10.
I haven't seen that.
They Came Together, which came out in 2014. Super funny dude. But yeah, this movie has a lot of people in it who just a couple years after this went on to
do
explode.
huge things, and I
Paul
love all
Rudd.
the people.
yeah,
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
God.
Cooper.
Even David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah,
is
from
like,
Frasier.
Right.
Yeah.
low key one of my favorite actors because he can do so many different things.
One actress who I forgot she was dating Paul Rudd's character,
You talk about
played by
Snowflake.
this chick Marguerite Moreau.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing her in anything else. She was so gorgeous.
Was she in
Mm.
anything else? Did you look? I did not look her up because I didn't know who she was.
She was in that movie with Detroit's own Aaliyah called Queen of the Damned.
Oh, I do like that movie.
I've never
Who
seen
did
it.
she play in that?
She was in Runaway Jury.
I love Queen of the Damned. That's a good soundtrack.
But I think she did a lot of TV and a lot of just like independent films. And of course, Amy Poehler, who at this time, I think she was just starting on SNL,
Okay.
2001, I
Mhm.
think.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd mentioned Ken Marino, who I also think should be much more famous than he is. He's hilarious.
Kevin Sussman, who's in Big Bang Theory, and that's what I've seen him in.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
that dude.
funny in that, but I love him in Big Bang Theory. Just his comedy, the way he just like
Yeah.
the things he said and how he acts is just. I was happy to see him in this.
Jolo Trulio from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that
Mhm.
dude. He's been in a lot of stuff.
What a great name, Joe Lo Trulio.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's funny. He was in Pitch Perfect too.
He's
He
been
was,
in.
he was part of
tons
the older
stuff.
group that got in the fight.
Yep. And of course, Elizabeth Banks, who I'm
Yep.
trying to think what was her thing that made her huge.
40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
she directs too. A lot.
She
of-
directs
she
now, too?
directs
Yeah.
Pitch Perfect. I
Yeah.
think.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, am I right? On
And
that?
And she was in
Charlie's-
Slither.
And she was.
She was in Slither, which we reviewed a couple months ago.
Oh, Mickey's top 5 horror movies.
And didn't she do Cocaine Bear?
Yeah, she directed
She
that one.
did.
So she's directed all sorts of
She's
different
directed
types
some
of things, which
really
I
good
respect.
things that I love. And
Charlie's
she's-
Angels.
Yep. And I like her as an actress too.
She's great.
From having seen this, whenever we first, I saw because you showed it to
Yeah,
me
yeah,
at
yeah.
first. I do not remember Bradley Cooper being in this movie at all.
I didn't either.
Oh my
I didn't know who he
gosh,
was
that's
when you
funny.
watched
Until we
it.
rewatched, I was like, I
And he
don't-
has a interesting, intimate scene.
He's got.
Yeah.
I was
And-
like, I could not
Yeah.
believe that scene. And I'm like, when was this? 2001. I'm like,
Right.
that is a lot.
I will
Yeah.
say that if it was real, if that was to happen, that would be reversed. Just saying. Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper,
The giver and the taker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know what
my-
you mean. I know what you mean. I I'm picking up what he was laying down.
Him and
Yeah, right.
Michael Ian Black,
Yeah,
who
it's like that's
he's on.
realistically, that'd be opposite.
It would be. Yes.
That was Michael Ian Black living out a fantasy with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say it.
Yeah. A lot of our fantasies. I would be with Bradley Cooper in a shed. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't turn him away.
So I do have a funny story about this. I was trying to remember the first time I saw it, and I was 90% sure I saw it with a couple of my buddies from high school. So I texted them. There's 6 of us from high school that we still text every day. And yeah, I watched it at my buddy Grant's house. And we were either still in high school or in college. We watched it in his parents' basement, and we had rented it from Mammoth Video right up here.
Yep.
He forgot to turn it in, and they sent a late notice through the mail.
And his parents.
And
got
his
it.
mom saw it, and she thought it was a porno because it's
porn,
called
yep,
Wet Hot
that's
American
what-
Summer.
It sounds just like it does. Sound
Right,
like
it does.
Yeah. I'm glad when
As
I
a
rented
mom,
it-
I would have been like, "You've embarrassed our whole family.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what you rented."
Yeah.
The
They
mailman.
walk
Yeah.
into that
Right.
scene. Oh my gosh, this is a gay porno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine that's the part he left it at, and then she
Right.
turns it on? She would have been sure that it was. She'd be like, "I knew it. I knew it."
This movie has it's one of those comedies that, of course, it's spoofing camp movies of mostly from the 80s.
Yeah.
Sex comedies like American Pie and
yep.
that sort of stuff, which only came out 2 years.
I mean, the
before
opening
this.
scene where they're dancing around the fire and they have a keg and all that. I mean, we used to do that,
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
I was, it was probably more late 80s, early
Right,
90s
right.
for me. But that was typical for us. Like, even some of what they're wearing and just dancing, listening to music. So even the opening scene, I'm like, I can relate to this.
Yep. I like this because, like I mentioned earlier, I like movies that take place in one location, and this takes place supposedly in one day.
Yeah, over. Just
I was
one day.
surprised that was all going to be in one day.
Yeah, do you remember they go to the town and then they start doing all this stuff?
my
There's a
God,
montage.
hilarious.
Then they start doing
Meth.
drugs.
They're doing meth. I mean, they're like hobos. I have a note on that. I was like, I am dying. This is hilarious. Like, I had to. That was one of the ones I paused and laughed.
The talent show contest at the end, I think, is so funny.
Oh, they stole a lady's purse. Yeah, that's
Um,
heroin.
Michael Showalter plays a stand-up comedian, a Jewish stand-up
It's
comedian,
hilarious.
and I think it is funny because he is so corny. And they're not even they're not even
They're
Yeah.
bad jokes.
yeah they're not even real
Right.
jokes, and this movie is also kind of making fun of like Jewish summer camps,
Yeah,
which like at the time in the 80s they were really big in the like upstate New York.
yeah, like Adirondack. Yeah,
Adirondacks,
yeah.
the Finger Lakes, that area. And so,
The cabins in this looked like the cabins from the Dirty Dancing movie. Did anyone else
Oh.
think that?
Interesting.
I've never seen Dirty
thought-
Dancing.
you say that. I thought
the
of
ones that
Sleepaway
the
Camp.
people that worked there stayed at,
Okay.
it looks like those, and it reminded me of the scene where he gets in the fight with the douchey guy, and they're punching each other
Yeah.
outside. And I'm like, I think these are the cabins from Dirty Dancing. So someone do a deep dive into that and find out for me.
I was thinking Sleepaway Camp, that horror movie.
Oh, that could be it too, though. I was like, oh, I know I've seen these cabins somewhere before.
It says this is a parody and an homage to Meatballs, Little
I was gonna
Darlings,
bring up- yeah.
Yeah.
Sleepaway Camp, and Indian
Okay, good.
Summer.
Yep. Meatballs is the one that I couldn't remember. I was like, oh, we have to watch that
Well,
because I was watching this. I'm like, if
Yes.
you did you watch Meatballs?
I haven't seen it.
So that was on my list. I narrowed it down to Meatballs was one of the considerations.
Isn't that the one with the alien?
No.
It's not
No,
where
it's-
they find.
Well,
Didn't they find like?
It's
I'm
a-
gonna have to look it up now, and I can't because my phone
it's
doesn't
just
get
a bunch-
reception in
bunch of
here.
Funny kids. and
Yes.
Bill Murray in it.
Yes.
Bill Murray, Ivan Reitman directed.
Yeah, I'm right.
There's one that I want to find, and if it's not Meatballs, because I thought it was Meatballs, they like an alien comes and they find him and they make him like he's a camper. And he does like this weird stuff, and like, I mean, it's just one of the weirdest '80s movies, camp movies I've ever seen.
This one's got a lot of raunchy humor gags.
Yeah.
In it, if I remember
Yep,
Meatballs.
same,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, and I do
Maybe
like
it does.
I like this film that there's a lot of sight gags, which you don't see as much in a lot of comedies today. When Joe Lo Truglio's chasing Ken Marino on the motorcycle,
The hair.
Oh,
the hair,
and the hay bale
hail,
right in the
yeah.
middle, and
he's like, "Well, where do I go?"
oh, he like dives over it, and then he stops the motorcycle in front of it like he couldn't possibly get through it.
And then there's kids that are in a raft and they're approaching the waterfall,
Mhm.
and they're like, "We need someone to get to him," and they're still there like a half hour later, right in front of the
on
waterfall.
the edge of the waterfall. Yeah. Oh, and I love that he runs out of the water from the kids, and he's like, "I have to go get him," and there's a motorcycle right there,
Yeah,
and he jumps right on it. Yeah, some of it was a little crazy where we're letting kids drown and we're tossing them out of vans.
Yeah,
and
throwing them out
we're
on the
just-
side
we're
of
act-
the
we're
road.
actually-
making out with each other, and
Yeah, we're just letting
Elizabeth
kids
Banks,
die,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh, right.
and there's Molly Shannon's character
Oh,
who
she's great in that.
Hilarious.
Stands up against her.
she's trying. Yeah,
Yep.
played by Judah Friedlander, who's from 30 Rock, the guy who always wears the baseball hats in
Yep.
30 Rock. And then she ends up marrying that
Yeah,
kid
so
at
at
the
the
end.
end-
She runs off with
Sad.
the child at the end.
Yeah, she runs off with the show. I hope you guys are all coming to the wedding.
So
yeah, I like Janine Garoppolo's character too.
Yes.
Her and
She's-
David Hyper. That
yeah,
whole
the
little
romance,
thing, the
yeah.
romance. I
Yep.
love it. And you're right, like the gags, like where they're walking by and they're like, "Oh, I wish we had a machine that would, do this." And it's just
The insecure professor too. He's not really a
Yep.
professor, but he tells the kids he is.
right.
He's just an adjunct.
Yep. And we're gonna save the camp because there's a meteor coming and we have to build a. It's so funny.
now,
no aliens mentioned in Meatballs. Now I'm
I
curious to
know.
what
I
movie
have to
this
figure out
was.
what this movie
yeah,
is.
it sounds cool.
Right now, watch me not have.
So,
I'm gonna look
so
this
have
up.
you-
Tortured. It's been
I'm gonna
20
be
years since I saw
tortured. Right. You
Meatballs.
guys are all getting a text message
It's like a butterfly
after
effect.
we leave here.
So in
Mandela effect.
2015, they came out with a prequel
Yes.
series. It was just a
I never
couple
saw it.
episodes. In my opinion, it's just as funny.
Okay, I have to watch it.
But everybody plays their age in the first movie, but it's 14. They made it 14 years later.
Because they say they're going to meet up 14 years.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And then 2 years after that, they came out with a sequel series called 10 Years Later. That came out in 2017. All of it is, in my opinion,
It's Meatballs 2. I am sorry to
Okay.
interrupt.
No, it's fine.
There's
It's
a
Meatballs
second
We were
too.
Meatballs
partially-
movie.
I never saw the second
Who
one.
knew there was
Oh,
a sequel?
See, and I tried to show you. Internet went out.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So there was an alien movie with Meatballs was 2, Andrew.
Yeah, Meatballs
2
2.
is the alien one she's
And,
talking
and
about.
they dress up.
They dress him up as a camper. He's in like a yellow rain slicker. It's the weirdest. Yep, Meatballs 2. That is seriously discount bin.
The only name I recognize is John Larroquette.
Yeah, I didn't say
Wow.
it was good.
Yeah, yeah.
I said it was a
It's
camp
discount
movie. It was discount bin for sure. What about Porky's? Have you guys ever?
Oh
seen-
yeah,
Yeah.
That's just a lot like it too.
Yeah, Porky's is another one.
But yeah, so this is one of those movies I saw, like I said, either at the end of high school or beginning of, it had to be the beginning of college. And of course, my sense of comedy and sense of, or appreciation of film wasn't developed as it is today. But even then, I was like, this is my type of movie.
Yeah,
Right.
I love every aspect of this movie. With Chris Maloney's,
the chef. He's
yeah,
I think he's like my second favorite character.
I'm
in
gonna
the
go
whole thing.
I'm gonna go fondle my blankets.
Right.
And then the
I'm
can.
gonna mark
The
the
talking
fridge.
can.
Oh, the
The-
talking can. That was one of my favorite.
So,
parts.
but before it starts actually talking to him, one of the dudes who works with him, he's like, he's talking to the can. He's just like, I'm going to need you to talk to him, but the can doesn't say anything, and
Right.
you're like, what is that? But then later on, the can
He
actually
actually
talks.
talks to him exactly. And this whole dancing scene where he actually humps the fridge and he has his moment and everyone's just okay with it. Hilarious.
It is a great movie. All right, anybody have anything else they'd like to talk about?
Well, I want to say Wet American Summer. I first saw it. Here's a funny story. I just talked about this movie this weekend too because my friend Mike, who I go watch his son play wrestling,
Yeah,
he used to work at Media Play. That's where I met him.
Yep.
And they used to have movie recommendations up. So his buddy Scott, who I was friends with back then, I started to get to know these guys. Like, wow, these guys got really good taste. They like indies, and I heard of Wet American Summer, but he wrote like a raving review at that. So the staff would write reviews. So it was up there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch this. So I rented it. Thank goodness I just got my apartment, and I was a freshman in college, and I had my own place because if Dad came down with that title, with
Yeah.
that Bradley Cooper
Exactly.
scene, it wouldn't have went down well, probably. But
I was going to ask, is the director the main character in this?
Mm.
no.
Who,
So David Wayne, he doesn't
So
have
Michael Showalter is the writer, though.
Right.
Yeah.
The writer.
Yes, co-writer, I should say. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was trying to figure out who the main character, because he looked like someone else. And the person who I thought he was actually in the remake or the TV series of it.
There was a show, wasn't there?
There was a
So-
show.
Yeah.
That's David Wayne. I don't know. He hasn't been in a whole lot, but he's directed a lot
Okay.
and
Yeah.
he's written a lot. Super funny dude. Super funny dude.
That's how I got acquainted with that movie, was the media play recommendation.
Yeah.
I watched it and I thought it was hilarious then.
But I also like that he didn't get the girl at the end.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love that.
Well,
twist
some,
where she's-
some of them did, though.
Yeah, but he
Not all of
but the
them.
main
Katie's kind of
character
a
didn't.
hoe.
She's like, yeah, I'm still gonna go with the douche. And I was like,
Oh, that one. That's
Yeah.
a, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she still picked Paul Rudd. This is hilarious. And then his whole scene where now he's like so upset and he slips on the banana peel
Right.
and
falls
falls
in
in
the
the
pool.
mud
Right.
and the pool.
And the bucket just lands right on
his
head, yeah.
But David Hyde Pierce gets the girl at the end.
Yep,
Yeah.
he does.
When you get older.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. The older set wins.
And we would like to thank Robert Butler for being on. Robert is a filmmaker. How many short films did you make so far?
Oh, geez, who's counting? Maybe 6?
6. One feature called Bloody Mortal, which you can see on Amazon, Tubi, probably a couple other ones.
Fandango, yeah.
And we are currently 90-something% of the way through filming Phantom Moon. We're trying to get Mr. Danny Trejo, Mr. Machete himself, to
Yes.
be in the last part of it. Rob has also been writing a movie review website called De Facto Film Reviews. When did you start that, Rob?
10 years ago, actually. 2016, 2015, 2016, yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you guys are into films out there and you want to check it out, I believe it's defactofilmreview.com or something like that. You say
Yes.
say the right one.
defactofilmreviews.com.
Okay, there
Andrew
you go.
clicks on it every day.
Just about. But I always have a hyperlink. I never have to
pretend
touch
like
it.
he's not your main follower.
Yeah.
He only lightly stalks you.
But we are very honored to have Rob on as our very first guest
Yes, thank you.
because he has an encyclopedic knowledge of film and being a filmmaker
Oh, I didn't know about
himself.
meatballs, too. I feel bad now.
We have
Oh.
things we can teach each other.
Exactly, yes.
All right. Any last words from anybody?
No, this was great. I'm glad. I needed a little summer because I'm going to go out to -4 in about a minute and a half and drive home. So
So in July we're hot. We're going to be like, I remember that day in January. So we
Yeah.
definitely should do a winter
Yeah, we
July.
will.
I'll hold you to
yep,
it.
winter
right.
in July.
I already know I'm picking another Steve Buscemi movie. Giving you a clue. It takes place in the winter.
Yep.
You'll find one.
All right, folks. It came from the Discount Bin, episode 6, and I almost said I am Andrew Walker. We also have
With you as always, Alexa.
Mickey.
and Robert Butler. All right, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.